If you want to learn how to practically save more money, then you might not want to be spending money on these 10 things that I myself no longer spend money on. I associate with the word minimalism, and because I associate with this term, many people believe that I don't spend a lot of money and I own very few items. And they would be right. I recently just moved houses and it took me very little time because I own very few things. And also people know me as someone who loves to travel and only bring one backpack, which leaves both my hands free and extremely mobile. But I wanted to share why I was drawn to a more minimalist lifestyle. A lot of people are drawn to minimalism because they want to declutter, own fewer things, and have a less stressful life. And while all three reasons are noble reasons to get started on the movement, there is one huge reason that people often neglect, and that's living a value-aligned life. To draw out the noise in what society, family, and friends are pressuring you to do, what to buy, and how to live your life, and to really focus on what makes you content and to create a lifestyle around your beliefs and values. If I gave you my day-to-day bills, you'd probably be like, Sean, you barely spend any money, you should splurge a little and enjoy the finer things in life. But what you wouldn't see are the splurges that I make from time to time, such as shooting out my friends, doing new exciting things like skydiving, and traveling whenever I can. Because my day-to-day lifestyle allows me to save a lot of money, it allows me to spend money on huge things that I enjoy. I want you to reflect on why you want to save money and the lifestyle you want to live. Is it to be location independent and travel across the world? Is it to spend more time with family and friends? Is it to take a less paying job but actually allows you to do the work that brings you fulfillment? You know, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does give you the opportunity to discover what makes you happy. With that being said, bop the like button and let's get started with number 10 on what I don't spend money on as a minimalist. Lottery tickets. People in the United States spend $85.5 million on lottery tickets in 2018. According to Lottery USA, the odds of winning the Mega Millions jackpot are 1 in 302.6 million, and the odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are 1 in 292.2 million. These odds are incredibly slim. You are 250 times more likely to be hit by lightning this year. Not hit by lightning your entire life, but just this year. You are 80 times more likely to be eaten by a shark and die. I myself am terrified of getting eaten by sharks. Jaws really messed me up, but even I know the odds of getting eaten by a shark are super slim. I actually have swam with sharks before in the Philippines. You are 30,000 times more likely to get injured in the bathroom than to win the lottery. Unless you're me and a total klutz, which means you're more likely to get injured. It's $2 per play for the lottery, but if you invested that $2 into the stock market for 40 years at a 10% growth, the average rate of the stock market growth, then you would have $90.52 at the end of those 40 years. $90.52 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 45 times more than that initial $2 investment. Fun fact, this applies to any investment you make right now. So if you invested $1,000, in 40 years that $1,000 will be $45,259.26. Invest instead, my friends. Don't roll the dice with the lottery, you probably won't win. And I made this video on the only stock you ever need to purchase, so go ahead and check that out. Card and description below. Number 9, unnecessary groceries. During this time, I've taken the effort to learn how to cook better and make more variety of meals. It brings me odd satisfaction to see an empty fridge. This means that I used up all the ingredients that I bought and hopefully made delicious meals out of them. Most people overshoot the amount of food they anticipate they're going to eat and therefore spend a lot more money on groceries that just aren't used and therefore go bad. In the United States, 30 to 40% of food gets wasted. Buy what you need, eat them fresh, and save lots of money. Number 8, credit card interest. 37% of Americans are deep into credit card debt. This means they are spending money on things that they simply can't afford. I refuse to pay any credit card interest because the average credit card rate is 19%. This stuff compounds. It may only be $100 in credit card debt now, but eventually that will be $1,000 in no time. Pay your credit card bills in full every single month and don't fall into a spending trap where you're spending more money than you make. Use your credit card like a debit card and only buy things you can afford right now in cash or with the money you have in your bank account. Number 7, subscriptions I don't find value in. Nowadays, a lot of businesses are moving to a subscription model. Take a look at Amazon Prime, Netflix, they all have a monthly subscription fee. And what's tricky about this is you might be thinking you're paying less money per month than if you had bought in for the entire year, but in actuality, a lot of people forget they're purchasing these services and end up paying for them years into the future. Diving into your subscription services and figuring out what you actually use will help you save tons of money by eliminating those services you don't care for. There are a lot of services that give you a 2-month free trial, but to be able to take advantage of that trial, you have to put in your credit card, and then on the 3rd month, they start charging you. And one tip that I have for you, if you want to just try this out and not pay for these services, is to set a reminder on your calendar on the exact date you need to stop your subscription. You can get 2 months of that service for free, and then just cancel it if you don't like it. I don't do drugs, I never got into them, so I don't spend money on them. But if weed becomes federally legal on April 20th, 420, then I might just get high as video games. I think video games is one of the best investments towards entertainment. You can spend $50 or $60 on a game and have tens or even hundreds of hours of entertainment on just that one game. But nowadays, I play video games on my PC, and a lot of PC games are free. Instead of charging people this initial fee to play the game, a lot of video game companies will have in-game purchases where they make a bulk of their money. An example of these in-game purchases are character skins. I'm really good at avoiding payments for these in-game purchases and therefore save money that way. I know video gamers skew towards being men, but I remember reading this article saying that if you want girls and women to get interested in tech, video games is one of the great ways to spark interest. Number 4, life insurance. This is really just death benefits. In the event you pass away, a payment is paid out towards whoever you specify, typically your partner. People typically do this with the intention of helping their family out financially. There are 2 types of life insurance. One is term life insurance, where you're covered for a set amount of years, such as 10, 20, or 30 years. And the other is whole life insurance, which covers your entire life. And because whole life insurance covers your entire life, including the years where you are older, it is way more expensive than term life insurance. I'm not gonna go deep into this because everyone has their own financial goals and you need to figure out which is yours and what works for you. But whole life insurance isn't a good deal because when you're 50 or 60 years old, if you have children, they're going to be adults over 18. And when your children are adults, they can work for themselves and you don't have to pay for this enormous fee to cover your 20-year-old kids. Just get term life insurance, pay less, and with the extra money you would have spent on whole life insurance, invest. Needless to say, if you don't have children, you shouldn't get this, which is why I don't have life insurance. I talk a lot about personal finance and investing on this channel, and if you want to learn more about that, hit that sub button and notification bell. Number 3, flights. This might be a shocker to you because I love to travel to different cities in the United States and have managed to do an international trip every single year for the past 3 years. But what I don't spend money on are flights, and this is largely because of the credit card benefits I have and the sign-up bonuses I get every time I get a new credit card. Now, I will say that credit cards are a double-edged sword. They can give you insane benefits and get you a lot of free things, but if you don't use them correctly, you could go deep into debt and have that debt snowball into even more debt. You need to be careful. And having multiple credit cards can get confusing. There is benefit in having just one credit card for everything, getting that 2% on every single purchase and having more simplicity in your life. But I myself am willing to spend more time in researching credit cards and collecting sign-up bonuses and have saved thousands of dollars on my flights. This isn't for everyone, but if you love to travel, then there are a lot of travel cards out there that will give you huge sign-up bonuses. Number 2, pets. Now I want to start this off by saying I love dogs and a lot of animals in general, and I actually grew up with a puppy for the majority of my life. But being an adult and really valuing my freedom and my time, I've decided to not get a pet for many years into the future. Excluding the costs that come with having a pet, such as vet checkups, shots, and food, there are a lot of lifestyle things you're giving up when you get a pet. You get up in the morning, let your dog out, go to work, and then immediately have to come back during lunch or at the end of the workday to walk your dog again. And this makes it a lot more difficult to be able to go to happy hours with friends after work or to hit the gym directly after work. When you get a pet, especially a dog, your entire life revolves around that dog. There is a monetary aspect with owning a pet, but I think people should view it more as a lifestyle decision. It also makes it difficult when you want to make weekend trips or travel to another country for a week because you need to figure out how or who is going to take care of your dog. Number 1, a mortgage. There was a period in my life where I was really diving into being a homeowner and potentially house hacking, where you live in a house paying mortgage, but your roommates cover that mortgage for you. Real estate can be a fantastic investment decision, but when I looked around in my area, the numbers just didn't really add up. It's difficult in my area to purchase a home and have all your roommates cover your mortgage. But similar to buying a pet, your decision on being a homeowner should not be based on monetary reasons, but on a lifestyle choice. When you're a homeowner, you have to take care of all the things that break down in your house. When your refrigerator doesn't work, you gotta fix it, or you gotta get contractors to fix it for you. There are a lot of things that can break down in the house, and it's up to you to fix that. When you're a renter, you just call your landlord or the property manager to come and fix it for you. People think that spending money on rent is simply throwing away your money, but you're really spending money on time. You don't have to spend time fixing the house, and you're also purchasing freedom to be able to get up and move wherever you would like. If you find a better place to live or you want to move and try out a new city, you can do that really easily by renting. But when you're a homeowner, you are essentially locked in for at least 3 years, because if you move before 3 years, you will lose money on the fees you paid when you purchased that house. As a young adult who doesn't really know where I'll be in the next few years, I will gladly pay rent for that freedom. I want to know what you no longer spend money on. Let's keep this conversation going, and I'll see you all in the comment section below. Peace.